Hello everyone, my name is Miss Rebecca and welcome back to StoryCraft. So we are in the last 3 weeks of summer reading, so I thought it would be fun to do a bit more lengthy of a project. So for the next 3 weeks we're going to be slowly, piece by piece, constructing this summer beach themed diorama. So our first week we will make the lighthouse, second week we're going to make the boat, and the third week we're going to make the background and put it all together. So I hope you can join me for the next few weeks as we make this diorama. I hope you enjoy it, and let's get on to the story. So the first book in our little summer series is called Big Boys Cry by Jonty Howley. It was Levi's first day at a new school, and Levi was scared. Papa didn't know what to do, so he told Levi, "Big boys don't cry." So Levi didn't. On his way, Levi saw a fisherman with tears in his eyes setting off on a long trip. "Big boys don't cry," said Levi. Next, Levi saw a harpist, lost in his music and memories, and some passionate poets practicing their prose. "Big boys don't cry," whispered Levi. Levi saw grandparents, new parents, rich men, and not so rich men. He saw proud men, army men, young men, old men, biker men, brainy men, and even baker men crying. In fact, big boys were crying everywhere. Soon enough, Levi arrived at school. I think he's nervous. I think he's really scared. Look at him in front of the class. In the end, Levi's first day wasn't so scary, and before he knew it, it was time to go home. Look at that, that wasn't so bad. On his way back, he thought about all he'd seen. Even though he was nervous, it wasn't too bad of a day, huh? When Levi got home, Papa had tears in his eyes. "Why are you crying?" asked Levi. "It was your first day at a new school," said Papa, "and I was scared." "Papa, big boys do cry," said Levi. "And that's okay," said Papa. It was Big Boys Cry. And welcome to the craft. So we will be making our first part of our diorama today, so that is going to be the lighthouse. All you need for this craft are a couple pieces of white paper, a paper towel roll, a toilet paper roll, a Sharpie or some type of black marker, some scissors, and some tape. And I used some red and yellow masking tape, but you could also use red or yellow paper or color some white paper red or yellow. Whatever you have on hand is what you can use. So first, in order to fit my lighthouse properly into the size of my diorama, I need to make my paper towel roll a bit shorter. So I'm just going to cut off some of the end here. And I'm actually doing that by cutting up into the paper towel roll multiple times just to make it a bit easier to cut around. So now that I've got my paper towel roll cut down, I am going to cover my paper towel roll and my toilet paper roll in white paper. So that's going to mean cutting down some white paper to the size of your rolls. So I've actually shown you how to do this in a previous video, the one where we made our birds. But all I did here to cut down my paper to size was I rolled my rolls onto the paper and then just eyeballed where the cuts would go. And it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to fit well enough. It's not going to really matter if you're a little bit over or a little bit under. And then once I have the paper cut down, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some clear tape and tape it on. And now that I have my white paper taped onto my paper towel roll, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some red stripes to turn it into the base of my lighthouse. So for that, I'm using some red masking tape. And of course, like I said, if you don't have red masking tape, you can totally use some red colored paper, or you can color some white paper red and then just glue or tape that on in stripes. There we go. I've got all of my red taped on, so I mostly just tried to keep the stripes as even as possible. And this is how it turned out. So next, I'm going to cover my toilet paper roll, but this is going to be a little bit different because I want to draw some designs of the top of the lighthouse on it. So I'm just starting by taking one end of the white paper and I'm going to draw a line all the way across, like so, and then make some lines down to make it look kind of like a sort of railing. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking my yellow tape and I'm going to cut a square of it. This is going to be your light of your lighthouse. So of course, again, if you don't have any yellow tape like I have here, you can take some yellow paper and glue or tape that on. You just want it to be a square, about the size that I'm cutting my tape to here. So once I've cut that down, I'm just taping it right into the center of my piece of paper here towards the top, and then I'm going to outline it. So I'm just carefully tracing the edges of my piece of tape here. And then once I have it outlined, I'm just drawing two perpendicular lines in a T shape right in the center of the piece of yellow tape here, just like so. So it looks kind of like a little window. So now that I've done that, I need to figure out exactly how high up I want the toilet paper roll to come on the paper towel roll. And so to do that, I'm just inserting it into the paper towel roll, and then I'm going to mark a little dot where I want it to sit, because I'm going to draw another little, I guess it looks sort of like a railing, another design on the bottom here. So I'm drawing two lines across like this, and then drawing all the little perpendicular lines. Just as you see in the video here. There. Now that I've done that, now I can tape on my piece of paper onto my toilet paper roll. Awesome. So now that that's taped on, I need to now secure my toilet paper roll inside of my paper towel roll. So I'm just going to take a little piece of tape and very carefully, without squishing the piece of tape or scrunching it up against the top, I'm going to push the toilet paper roll in and then tape it inside of the paper towel roll, like you can see me doing in the video. And that's really it. Now you have your lighthouse. Isn't that kind of cool? For other variations of this lighthouse, I found some really interesting ideas online. I saw some people cutting out the bit where I have the yellow tape and instead putting a little fake candle inside, or having it so that it can actually light up somehow. That could be totally fun if you wanted to try that. There are plenty of different ways to do this. This is just the way that I went with. And that's it for today's StoryCraft. Next time we will be doing the boat, and then we'll put it all together in our third week. Hope you guys are having a great week, and see you next time. Bye-bye.